Okay. Everything should be flying now. Is anybody out there? Or am I on my own tonight? I guess maybe I'm on my own tonight. All right. Well, I will play some games and let me move this out of my way. Oh, you know what I should do? I need to turn these on, don't I? Let's do that first. Start, and then now let's get this one. Let me get down to here, the evil timer. And, all right, I need to go to here. What the hell's going on with that? There we go. And this one, I'm going to shrink that up a little bit. Yeah, maybe about like that. Hey, Nasal Penny, how's it going? Hey, Chris, how's it going? Thanks for showing up, you guys. There is a chance that I may run out of steam early tonight just because, well, it's been a bad week. I'll wait and bitch about it a little bit later, or maybe I'll just avoid it altogether. But if you guys don't mind, I'm going to play some Octortal. You know what? I don't think I did today's. No, I'm certain I didn't. So let's start off with the Daily Rescue. Let's see if I can manage. Okay. Well, you know, I guess if you had a good time, Rob, that's good. But, you know, you should have talked to somebody. So I don't mean to give you any grief, but it looks like that one's going to be ready, doesn't it? Prick, maybe? No, what is that going to be? I'll have to come back on it. I'm drawing a blank on that, unless somebody else has it. Yeah, with the evil timer. I can't help it, man. I can't help it. You can't see. Oh, I'm in the wrong window, aren't I? Here we go. And I'm in the wrong thing there, too. What the hell's going on here? There we are. Man, I'm just messing up tonight. I told you it was been a bad week. Sorry about that, you guys. Wait, what was your costume? Did you say? And I've just blanked out on it. Okay. What is that? Furry, I suppose, yeah. Dexter. Oh, I think you did mention that. Right. Sorry about that. Right. You know, somehow I think that fits you. You know, I'm not sure why that's the case, but... what is that one? I'm totally drawing a blank on that. And so I'm just, that's probably that's great with the apron, man. See, that's the thing. You should have talked to people. You should have figured out a way of, you know, just like bolstering yourself to, you know, talk to people, but like just act the part. You know what I mean? Like channel your inner Dexter and maybe spook some people out. Does anybody have any idea what's that? Right on, then. Oh, crick, let's try that. Thank you. Right on. And, oh, that one's going to be conch. And drama. Hey, what do you know? Thanks for the crick one. That was great. Thanks, Chris. I appreciate that. And here we go. Let's do... so we just did the rescue. Let's go to extreme. Yeah, and I do kind of, I haven't ever like watched it all the way through, but I do every once in a while watch it. I'm not seeing what it is here. Is that one going to be sauce maybe? Is that right? Okay. Spite, smite. That could be party. Oh man, let's see what I have. That's going to be chive maybe? Chive. Or it could be child, like chili, right? Alright, I'm going to put in plum and let's just see if it gets me anywhere. Smite is what that one is. There we go. And crowd, maybe? Okay. Naive. Oh, two O's. There we go. Tooth. That's a good one. Terry. Oh, tardy. There we go. And spawn. And chime. There we go. All right. So far, so good. So let's go to classic. Okay, prime, that gets me somewhere, right? Graph. Huh. I don't see what that one at the end is right now, but aging maybe? Tangy. Quash maybe? Toddy. Admit maybe? Okay. And what's that going to be? Hey, what do you know? So far, so good. And let's go to sequence. Safer, okay. Riser. And what is that? Oh, lower. There we go. And now we'll do chill. And drain, brain, I don't know. Oh, well, chill, that's right. I have plenty of guesses, so I can just put these in right off the bat, can't I? Drain. So is that going to be melon or lemon? No, it's not. It's going to be melon. Nope, lemon. What do we have over there? Equip, maybe. And stove. And belong. And glove. And probably hitch. What do you know? All right, what is that? Well, if you guys can tolerate some more gamey nonsense, I'm going to go over and do the Nordal one. Oh, you know what? That mic is bothering me. Give me a quick sec. I'm going to go over Oh no, look at Bill, he's so small, down there in the corner. It might not even be worth putting me there. It amuses me though, so we'll keep it there at least for the moment. Alright, anyway. Alright, so cushy, joint, freak, haste. Yay. Okay. Flung, maybe? Chalk. Let's put in plum. Hey, what do you know? Oops, clank. Okay. Foamy, probably. Alright, and what is that? Wedge, maybe, yeah. What do you know? What else was it going to be, though, right? So way back when, well, back in the 90s, I guess, late 90s into the early 2000s, I used to play some of those point-and-click adventure games, especially the ones by Sierra. I think I may have mentioned that before. Oh, that's going to be Sprout. Anyway, I found this website where I can play those old games again. I never put in freak either. Yikes. Friar. Anyway, it's been fun, kind of being nostalgic and replaying some of those games. Okay, well, flunk. Post. What else could that be? I'm not sure. Let's put in fungi. I bet that's what that is. That could be, excuse me, that could be 3. It could be there. No, it can't be there because the E's in the middle. Or, you know, the can't be in the middle. Viral. Okay, it can't be 3 either. It could be ether. There we go. I'm going to say post. Nope. I'm going to try toast then. What do you know? Oh, what's the timer saying? Oh, I got plenty of time. Fluid? All right. Gaudy? Is that how we spell it? A-U-D-Y? All right. I don't see what that one is over there. Ladle? No, that's not it because the A is in the wrong spot. Gully? Oops. I'm going to put in plum. Okay. Well, it looks like, is there a chance I'll make it all the way to past 8? Toxin, maybe? Yeah. All right. Clasp. And comfy. And trunk. And beefy. Oh, there, yeah, it's going to be could. I didn't see the D there. There we go. And toxin. Now, what's this going to be? Is gauze like that? Yay. All right. What is that one? With the K down there. Drawing a blank. I think that one's going to be evoke. What do you think? No? Well, that was a waste. Oh, I bet that's skier, isn't it? There we go. And bathe. And all right. I don't think I have enough, do I, to finish? Let's see. I have 6 left, and 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I have just enough. Okay. No more room for errors, though. So what is that one? Gland, maybe? Okay. Oh, gecko is that one, isn't it? And dodge, yeah. Man, is that sever or sewer? Oh, no. Well, I'm not going to make it. I thought that was... Oh, it's going to be gaily, isn't it? Yep. And that one's going to be lily. Is that one sever or sewer? Sewer. All right. Well, there you go. That's a good place to end it so that I'll get off that. I don't know whether I'll... Let me go to here. I might come back to that for some, like... make myself back a little bit bigger. I might come back and play some more games later, but I think what I'm going to do is, after the break, which is coming up here in a little bit less than a minute, I will probably do some triggers. What do you think about that? Yeah, I have the normal ones, right? The brush and the chopstick and the crinkle bag and the chunk of wood and all that stuff. So we'll do that after the break. I was thinking like there was something I was going to say to you guys that, I don't know, that was like not, normal stuff, but I don't know, I guess it has left my mind. And let me look at this thing here. I'll put that there. Okay, well, here it is. It's coming up on break time, so I will be right back. back. You know, I'm going to drink water. I should have done this before I came back, I guess. Okay, comments. Oh yeah, do I say that Black Ice GT? Yeah, I will before I do the triggers. I'll go and I'll give you a brief description of what's going on with that, because it is clues, and it's a little bit like Mastermind, to be honest. Yes, there will be wood tapping. All right, so yeah, let me get the bad news out of there, or the bad week news out of the way. So, I still don't have my original channels back, and I'm beginning to lose all confidence and hope that I will ever be able to get them back, which is really kind of heartbreaking and frustrating. Not just because I was, making good headway with it and all of that, but the way the YouTube rules work is that you can only have one AdSense, and you have to set up the AdSense in a particular way. So I can't monetize the new channel. You know what I mean? Which means I can't monetize YouTube, which means I have to figure out something to do, because if I can't make this work, it means I have to figure out something else to do for money. I mean, I wasn't really making a living at YouTube yet, but it was showing, signs that it would be, But if I can't do that, then I have to go back to, my old, barely ever publishing stuff, because I just won't have the time, because I'll have to find something else to do for a living. And that with all the other stuff around the house that needs doing, well, whatever. Anyway, so it's been a bad week, and been actually contemplating the idea that I need to talk to my psychiatrist about altering my meds, because this last week has been really hard from a depression standpoint. So yeah, I don't know. So right now I'm not in the best of moods and whatever. I almost canceled tonight, to be honest. But anyway, we're here. Let's get off the bad news, and maybe, I don't know. Maybe I should have you guys like write a petition or something to give to YouTube or some crap like that, because I don't know. Because I haven't been able to actually have any interaction with anybody who actually works at YouTube about any of this. But at all the community post things and everything you can do, whatever, all of them just say, oh no, dude, if you can't use the automated thing, then you have to just accept that you've lost your channel. And I think these people are being really, really mean, which kind of makes me go, okay, maybe I should just not pay attention to them, because the way they word it and the way, it's just like, man, why do you, it's just like, it's like not just so they say, oh, I think I have bad news for you, but they're like, suck it up, bitch, that kind of tone. It's just like, yikes. Anyway, or maybe I'm overreacting or reading too much into it, but that's kind of the way it feels. Anyway, so let's go back to gaming for a quick sec, and I will use Octordal, and then I'll go over to the Nordal too. But let's just pick practice, and we'll do the regular one and new game. Okay. So, all right. So when you do your, oops, I'm in the wrong window. Get back over here, dude. So like when you're on the puzzle here, right? Green is, it's like in Mastermind, that means it's there, right? And that means it's in the puzzle but in the wrong spot. Okay, so in the keyboard down here, see all these little bands? They correspond to these, right? So that U here, see how it's got a yellow stripe? That refers to that. So you can look down here and see the distribution of the letters across all the words. It helps you keep track of what you're doing, so that's really what it is. And I don't even remember exactly how. When I do Nordal, I don't even remember how they do the coloring and whatnot. Oh, I need to go up, don't I? Let's do this. And holy mackerel. Can I just enter that in? I just say 9 or something. There we go. All right, so what do they do here? See, they don't do the same thing, do they? Yeah. Oh, I guess they do the exact same thing. Yeah, all right. To be honest, I don't often look down at the keyboard. I'm so used to just looking at the grid. But yeah, that's what it's there for. And yeah, so the green, so that green stripe coincides with that Y there, right? Now, it's the position here is the position of the grid. It has nothing to do with the position in the puzzle, right? If that makes sense. So, in any case, I hope that. Black Eyes, I don't know what to tell you guys to do to help me. You know, I would absolutely love it if you guys could help me in some manner. I just don't know what that is, you know. Let me move this back over to Octortle because it's darker. There we go. So it's not as bright on my face. So, I mean, I don't know if somebody has any ideas there, you know. You know, I haven't tried Reddit. No, that's not true. I did try Reddit because I just remembered I had to set up a whole new thing to be able to use Reddit. Yeah, but that's the thing. I've never spoken to anybody that was from YouTube itself, and the people that have, I don't even know that the people that have answered me are actually creators because it's hard to tell from and I haven't really followed them up and went and looked to see what their their bona fides are, so yeah, I don't know. I don't know if anybody knows anybody that works at YouTube. That's what we were just talking about, Javon. Things have not been going well. I'm still without my original channels, and it's looking like I'm never going to be able to, and it's looking like I may end up, not being a full-time YouTuber anymore. And well, actually, I haven't been since I lost the channels, have I? Yeah, I don't know. It's all looking, I don't know. Anyway, so that's it for the bad news. It's, if somebody's got a great idea, then obviously, let me know. But anyway. Oh, Dylan, okay. Well, I guess looking at the little cross would clue me into that, but I guess anybody could do that. But all right. I didn't know that Rafe was your first name. I always thought that Dylan was your first name. Anyway, I'm confused now. Hey, Ben, how's it going, man? It's good to see you. Yeah, but see, the thing is, Javon, that it's growth, although it's good for my ego and all of that, I can't monetize it. You know what I mean? Because you can't have more than one AdSense account. And of course, they have to say, you have to do all your taxes and all that stuff, right? You know what I mean? So unless I can figure out some way of making that work, that's not fraudulent, going to get me in trouble. Yeah, you know what I mean? So it's kind of... Dylan Jamilian. All right, cool, man. See, the thing is, I can't delete the channels I don't have access to. You see what I mean? Yeah, I mean, as of now, it doesn't look like it's going to be possible, so I don't know what I'm going to do. Yeah. Anyway, so let's get off of the bad news. And, well, now that we've talked about bad news, I'm kind of in a crappy mood again, so let's go back and play some Octortle so I can kind of get my head space back into something that's not on my, my horrible woes. So let's just go to, let's do practice on the sequence game. And let me switch over to gaming. And let me shrink my head a little bit. There we go. Let me move myself down out of the corner a little bit better. All right, there we go. Am I back in this window again? Yes, okay. I don't know, voter. Tower, all right. No, Ben, I don't get a separate AdSense for this account. You can one AdSense account per one person, and they're going to use your tax ID to do it, right? So I'm kind of hosed. Buggy, what's that going to be? Living wage, let's see. All right, it's going to be Buggy. Oops. I'm sorry to hear about that, Rob, about the cat. Crazy. I don't know, Ben. I don't have any confidence of it anymore. I don't know. Well, here's the thing, Rob. They could. They absolutely have the capacity to do it. They just won't, because they won't do anything other than the automated system. And I think the whole alphabet thing just reeks of arrogance. You know what I mean? It's like it's like, I'm sure that they think that they've covered all the contingencies, which, as a math guy, there is no such thing. You know what I mean? You cannot plan for all contingencies. That's a fool's errand. Anyway, so what are we going to do? That's going to be, what is that going to be? What is that? Reuse, maybe? Yeah, okay, there we go. Toxin. Ghoul. Okay. I think you're right, Ben. I can't find a person at YouTube that will talk to me, and there doesn't seem to be. It seems like they have made it that way on purpose. In a weird way, it's like I feel like I'm being punished for making a mistake. You know what I mean? And the mistake has harmed me, so I'm being punished for harming myself. You know what I mean? It's just frustrating. I don't think there is a regular mail option, Rob. And that's probably strap, isn't it? Wow, what's that? Fitted? Oops. Essay. Bulge, probably. No bugle, all right. Heath, maybe? No? Oh, I didn't pay attention to the position of the E. Theta, how about that? There we go. Honey. Husky. And that's probably Spawn, isn't it? All right. Wow, Ben, that's, oh, really? One of the mics went numb, huh? Your left or right mic went numb. Which one now? Well, at this end, they're working. I'm sending signal to both channels on the OBS. Is anybody else having a problem? I do see I got a little bit more of like self-noise than usual. I don't know what that's about. Are you hearing something wrong with the mics, do you think? You know, producers tend to have pretty good ears, so. Well, let me know if you think there's something I need to do to fix it, man. Anyway, let's go on to play another. Okay, thanks, Ben. But what I was saying, Ben, I really do appreciate your, loyalty and help and all of that. It means a whole lot. I just don't know, you know, I just don't know what to do, you know. So anyway, you know, can we leave that alone now for a while? Let's get so I'm not in such a bad mood. MSC, hey man, how's it going? Good to see you. I can't feel anything. Well, see, here's the thing. When in the music, at least from, you know, the music stuff that, well, you know, I don't think it's a bad way of saying it, man, because like, every time I've been in a studio and people talk about the way mics hear, you know what I mean? Or sometimes people talk about what the mic sees. I've heard people say that too. So it's really common for us to kind of, you know, anthropomorphize or project into these objects those types of things because we're using it as extensions of our own senses, right? Anyway. But I know what you mean. It's like unfamiliar use of words, right? Oh, marsh. I was thinking that was going to be something like sharp. That's going to be taro, isn't it? And karma. Oh, and just to keep everybody else, one last thing on the bad news thing, because it's just kind of a weird thing. I did reach out to a YouTuber just to see if they would be able to help me, and I have not heard back. I'm kind of not thinking I will, to be honest, but that's going to be mango, isn't it? Flora. Yeah, let me do, what time is it getting to be here? Yeah, you know, I'm going to, all right, let me just play this one more game here. And then, or maybe, I don't know. Yeah, I'll play at least one more, and then I'll take a break. And then, I don't know, we'll see what happens from there. What a night, huh? Maple or ample? No, ample. Oh, amplitude. Sometimes I don't know, man. Brillo? No, Brillo is too long. Broil, you idiot. Synod. They use that word a lot. Yeah, that's who I read. That's who I did, Ben. Is that cheek or check? Let's try cheek. No. And what's that going to be? Real. And S-A-N-E-R. What do you know? Finally pulled it out. And there we go. There's the thing. So let me go back to this thing here, and I will see you guys in a couple of minutes. Here, and we'll say, all right, let's see what we have here, if there's some comments going on. Actually, let me switch to this scene here real quick so it's easier for me. know about relaxing ASMR. I have no history with him. And I'm not comfortable reaching out to somebody I don't have any history with, you know. You know, I think that might be a decent idea, Ben. You know, because I know that that's worked before, right? I mean, with, you know, like, I think South Park got canceled and then brought back because of, you know, a fan petition kind of thing. So, you know, I don't know. And it's just, yeah, I mean, that would be great. I mean, I don't know what it will take, but whatever it takes would be fine with me. You know, let's I won't play any more Octoral right now. I might come back to it in a little bit. But let's see, where do I want to start? You know, I'm going to start with the chunk of wood, and then I will do the crinkle bag, and then, well, yeah, let's just start there. So, starting with the pads of my fingers. No, that couldn't, James, because it has to do with the monetization thing, and you have to use, you know, one AdSense account for one person. And of course, you know, I have to pay taxes, so they have to have my tax ID and all of that, right? So there's no real way to, you know. So yeah, I mean, I guess, you know, I don't know. I mean, I suppose if I had a bigger fan base already than I do, which, you know, it's not bad. I mean, it's growing. But if I had, you know, maybe I should push harder on the Patreon thing and just not count on YouTube ever making me money at all. But that's a slow process. I think I only have like 30 people signed up on Patreon right now. And I think those who are, because I know some of you who are here tonight are, so. Oh, you know, do any of you guys ever play those match 3 games? You know what I'm talking about? Where there's all the, you know, it's a grid of shapes, and then you click on 2 of them to get them to switch places to match 3. And yes, you are, Rob. And thank you. I do appreciate it. I wonder if I should, you know, do the thing about putting the thank you screen on the ends of videos or at the beginning of videos or something. I mean, I suppose I could do that. Like, what's that guy, ASMRtica? He's one of the few male ASMR artists I enjoy. Bejeweled? What did I miss? Well, let me do the tapping and whispering thing, yeah. And I will go back to the pads of my fingers for a little while. And I will whisper over here. Oh, bejeweled, right. Yeah, you're right. Okay, my brain is slow. Yeah, exactly like bejeweled, yeah. It's just, that wasn't one of the ones that I play because it's not on, I haven't found it on Linux. But I found this one that I really liked. It has these, well, I found 2 actually. One I like because I think it looks better. It's like has these gem shapes that are really pretty cool. And the other one has these like ocean beach themed things like seashells and stuff like that. And I like the beach one mostly because it has really cool sounds. And there's no time limit. So you just keep going, and you can play a relaxed version, right? That's like no time limit, and it's like easy as hell, and you can just sit there and kind of zone out. I found that to be super addicting. Okay, hang on. Bill, where do I become a patron? Oh, you know what? No, you can go to the same place, Ben. I managed to get that back. See, here's the thing. Patreon, I guess because it's not as big a company as Google, they were right on it. The minute I sent them an email saying that I had trouble, somebody contacted me. It was either that same day or the very next morning or something like that. And I ended up working with I guess 3 different women or whatever. I don't know why that was the case. But I heard from them every day until it was done. You know what I mean? And it just took them a little while because I had to get them information off my bank and, all that kind of thing. So, it was kind of a pain in my ass. Part of the reason it took long was because of my own issues, because I had to actually get my banking stuff taken care of because I couldn't do online banking either. So I had to actually go into my bank, physically. Yeah, I do have a Twitter account, and I have tried accessing all of the stuff for YouTube on Twitter to no success whatsoever. I have tweeted Team YouTube a bunch of times. I wouldn't be comfortable asking them because I don't know that they would have any, connection to YouTube in that manner. Yeah, you'd have to go to one of my old videos on the old channel, or not any of the videos on my old channel. The thing is, I can't do external links. Actually, I should double check that. I might be able to do external links now. That might be a benefit I could have without having to monetize. I'll have to look into that, because that's why I don't have my SoundCloud and all that stuff on here. Which that's another one I've lost. I don't have access to my SoundCloud either. I mean, I'm less concerned about that because I could just make a new SoundCloud. If you want, Ben, I could send it to you. That's, see if you don't want to have to go hunting it down. All right, I'm going to go back to, I'm going to tap over there while I'm whispering over here. I'm going to tap over there while I'm whispering over here. And I will tap. And then I will whisper. And I will tap. And I will whisper. I will tap. And I Thanks, Golden Tank. I'm going to switch triggers here in a minute. I'm going to switch to brushing on the end grain of the good old chunk of wood. Oops. Be more careful with your tools, Bill. All right, here we go. So we're going to brush on the end grain of the wood. Brushing on the end grain of the wood. Brushing on the end grain of the wood. I just had a thought. How many of you actually enjoy when I do the skateboard ASMR? Or is that just me, because I really enjoy it, you know what I mean? I like the tapping sounds on the fiberglass, and I like the spinning of the bearings on the wheels. But I don't know, is that me just being, an old guy with a skateboard that's, from back in the day? Or does it actually work as an ASMR thing? Okay, let's switch again. And what are we getting at? We still have more than 5 minutes left, so we're fine. There we go. Brushing on the end grain of the wood. 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 We got another comment. Yeah, I don't know. I'd have to look into the BBB thing. I don't know if that would work. I don't know. It's something for me to consider, I suppose. Well, thanks, Ben. I appreciate it. Oh, since we have been talking about Patreon, I might as well say, if you want to go to join Patreon, there you go, it exists. If you go to my old channel, you'll find links to it in any of the video descriptions, basically. Well, any of the ones from the past couple of years, anyway. Or actually, no, Patreon won't be there until the videos from this year. I didn't start the Patreon until 2025. So, how about any of the videos from, I don't know, say 2 or 3 months ago? They should have the Patreon link. But there's no real special perks or anything like that. It's just $1 a month tip jar thing. And you can also, I don't spend a lot of time there, but there has been, people can message me there and I message back and that kind of thing. So that happens there. I had started an idea, which I might try to continue, is having people suggest segments of videos that they think might make a short. And if I used their suggestion, of course, they'd get a thank you and a credit in the video that, for participating. Wow, that's cool, Ben. Thank you. down to the 2-minute warning for the next break. More over here. Well, I'm glad you could come by, Gage. And I'm glad, thanks for, digging my stuff. I appreciate it, If you guys didn't like my stuff, this would all be pretty silly, wouldn't it? Man, sometimes that 20 minutes goes by real fast, doesn't it? All right, let me go back to tapping a little bit just for this last few seconds, Sam. Do a little tapping, a little whispering, a little tapping, and some whispering. And some tapping, and some whispering. And some tapping, and some whispering, and some tapping, and some whispering. That's okay, Gage. I kind of knew what you meant, so I'm not gonna sweat, a little thing like that. Oh, there we go. So it's break time. I will be right back. And I'm back. Oh, thanks, Ben. Rob's a full Microsoft zombie. Well, most people are. And I spent a little bit of time being a Microsoft zombie, too. I mean, when I stopped being a computer programmer professionally, I ended up getting a Windows box. Actually, I got the Windows box because I created a YouTube channel because I needed a new machine because my other machine died. And I was using initially, before I bought the newer machine, I was using this little web book that I had. There was I think Asus makes it. Is that who made it? I can't remember. It's this little, it's like, oh, I shouldn't do that. Damn it. Stop. Go back to normal. Thank you, you silly thing. I forget about those gestures. Yikes. Nah, it's not going to happen, Rob. As a programmer, I saw the blue screen of death way too many times. And it is a horrible thing that happened to me with my machine, and, especially since I sing the praises of Linux and, System 76 in particular. And it was a horrible, horrible thing. But I've had at least as bad of things happen way more often with Microsoft. The only thing with Microsoft. Well, back in the day anyway, when I was using it, I didn't have such problems as this because nobody was using two-factor authentication or anything like that, right? You just go, hey, I forgot my password, and then, you know. Did I get any notifications from Patreon? I don't get notifications from Patreon. I don't like getting notifications. I usually just kind of go there every few days and kind of poke my nose around, or actually maybe once a week or something. I should be better about going there, I suppose, but I'm a lazy guy, I suppose. Yeah. But, well, you know, I can go check real quick if you want me to look at it, Ben. I can go make sure that, let's see, I need this one up, and I need to get rid of that, and then I need to go to there, and then I need to click to here, and okay, and then let me look at notifications. Yep, there it is. Benjamin Larson became a member. Right on. Thanks, Ben. Now I'll get this back to there. And then I will do that to there. And then I will go back and put that. I'll just leave that there. That's fine. I need this back up, though, so I can see what I'm doing. And I should have the timer up so I can see what the hell that's happening. Too many windows open, man. Okay. Yeah, you're right. Okay, so what was I going to do? Oh, I was going to do crinkle bag, wasn't I? Let's do some crinkle bag. Oh, and nobody said anything about the skateboard, so I guess that means you guys don't like it. I mean, I might do it anyway just because I like it, but... Well, yeah, I know. I remember when I first lost the channel, I sent out a notification to everybody saying that they wanted to, you know, undo their subscriptions or whatever, that would be fine, because, you know, I didn't know what was going to happen. But, you know, most people stayed with me. And of the ones that left, I think they've all come back now. I guess, Ben, you might be the last one. I don't know. I haven't gone and looked at it. It's not like I, you know, take roll or anything. Oh, and also, if you're interested, you can go there and join as a free member so that you can, you know, email me that way or, you know, look at what other people are saying and that kind of thing. I mean, well, as a left-wing anarchist guy, I don't like putting stuff behind a paywall. You know what I mean? I think it would be better if we figured out better ways of supporting creative types in the world. Okay, maybe I will do some skateboard stuff later then. But I know, Ben, that you are a fan of the crinkles. So we're doing a little bit of crinkling. Crinkle, 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 crinkle. Oh, what is that? Oh, man, I lost my phrase. That was on my desktop. Oh, no. I'm going to have to go back and watch a video to relearn it. All right on, Ben. Anyway, what was that one about captivating creatures or whatever? I don't have that anymore, so I have to go listen to one of my old videos, and I don't even remember where that's going to be. Holy mackerel. I think I've done it in a few live streams. Does anybody happen to just know it by any chance? Oh, well. Oh, man. Crinkles are sometimes just... You know, I was going to say they really hit the spot, you know, like you do when you know, eat something that you really like. But it's kind of a similar thing, isn't it? It's just... certain sounds that sometimes just really do the trick. I often get mild tingles, you know, like right now actually I'm having a little bit of mild tingles, like doing this here in the room. It's a really good sound. Alright, let's go to, what are we going to do here? I'll just leave that there, I suppose. Let's do the pouches, because I like the pouches. Pouches are good crinkle noises. Thanks, Ben. You're like that. If there is such a thing as the cult of Bill MaxVoxPax, then you are certainly an evangelical. Spreading the good news. So I'll do a little bit of close-up whisper here while I do a little bit of this crinkle. And then I'll do a little bit of whispering up close over here. And you guys. Trying to think of something. What is it? Something captivating creatures, constantly something. How about I just say captivating creatures? Captivating creatures. Captivating creatures. Captivating creatures. Captivating creatures. Whisper, 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 whisper. Do a little bit of whisper, 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 whisper. Whisper, 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 whisper. Thanks, Gage. Whisper, 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 whisper. And now whisper, 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 whisper. And I would be honored if you would do some stuff like that for me. That would be amazing, man. If you would do that, I would certainly give you credit on, how I do the credits at the end. I could add you onto my end credits on the 3 monks in the tub thing at the, the end of the videos. How many of you have ever watched a video all the way to the end and have seen the 3 monks in the tub at the end of the video? I've only gotten a couple of comments from people that have noticed it and understood the connection, that it's, referencing my, music channel. Absolutely, Ben. How many, I think I might have asked this before and I just don't remember the response. How many of you use Discord? I mean, I have used Discord. But pretty rarely, frankly. I mean, I have an account there and I go there every once in a while, but, I don't know. It's like so many other things. Anyway. But I know that Discord has things like where you can do servers and stuff like that. And I've never used it. Do any of you use it that regularly? And is it worth investing time and energy into as a way of, as another avenue of you guys being able to, message me and stuff like that? Oh, is Kate Manda not here tonight? Where is she? Where is that girl? Oh, okay. Does anybody spend any time there, like, is there any kind of ASMR presence there or anything like that? Or, I don't know, I'm just, like I need to have any more projects, but I like the idea that you guys can, because I don't mind if people email me and reach out to me and stuff like that, and I can be curmudgeonly about comments, but, and I try to answer most of the comments, unless it's negative, but I'm not adverse to, having communications with you guys directly. I mean, especially now while it's all manageable, I mean, if I have my fantasy come true, then I'll have too many fans to be able to do all that kind of stuff that often, but, so, get it while you can, kids. I had never used any of those other ones like TeamSpeak. I did use Skype a few times. And I have used, and I do use now Zoom, because I lost my Facebook access too. But I used to use Facebook, as their video chat thing. Yeah, I should look into it. Maybe I should try and check Discord out a little bit and see if it's worth, kind of spending any time on. Oh, that's another thing. I signed up for Twitch, and I was thinking of trying to figure out how to do, simultaneous live streams, every Saturday here and Twitch at the same time. And I watched a couple videos on how to get it set up, and I was gonna, so then I went, oh, okay, that seems like I can do that. And then I went and signed up for an account, and then I kind of just dropped the ball. Oh, I remember that, Ben. was right after I lost the channel, wasn't it? All right, let's, oh, we're getting down to the end here. So what are we going to do? I'm going to do the combined bubble wrap paper. IRC, right, okay. Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking then. And then I just need to, I need to snap out of the doldrums that I've allowed myself to fall into because of all this nonsense. And, you know, get back on trying to make videos more frequently. And also, you know, pursuing these other avenues of interacting with you guys. Seconds left until the next break. I don't know how to use IRC either. Yeah, you know, that's absolutely true, Ben. I have to get off my butt and make more shorts. Because they do, although they don't tend to get tons and tons of views, at least my shorts don't, but they do seem to bump up. Like I tend to get an uptick in views on the other videos, you know what I mean? So I think people get, oh, right, that's right, there's that Bill guy, you know what I mean? So it seems like it works as like kind of ads. Anyway, time to take a break. We're back. And I'm going to have a little drink of water. Let's keep your crinkle stuff together, Bill. Okay. Actually, no, I think I'm going to go jump straight to the giant crinkle bag just because I like that one. That's my favorite, to be honest. Oh, yeah. That's a good sound. PFP, what's PFP? I'm drawing a blank. That's what happens. You get to be 60 years old, man. The brain doesn't work so well anymore. Actually, I don't know if that's true. I think my brain more or less works, as well as it has for the most part. It's just, after a while, there's just so much nonsense in there, it's hard to bring it back up, Oh, profile picture. Oh, wait, there you go. Oh, I do have a PayPal account, but I don't have access to it either anymore because it's on the old email. Yikes. I don't know how I'm going to manage that. I guess I'm going to have to reach out to them. No, it's okay, man. And I just noticed that it did change. I don't know how I didn't notice that. But now that I'm looking, I was like, oh, yeah, it's an obviously huge change. Man. Well, it's Saturday night. Intern? Who's intern? Oh, internet. I thought you were complaining about some intern somewhere. Holy mackerel. Yeah, I remember in the early days of the internet before it had gotten so commercialized, I really thought it was a much better place. But as soon as the whole .com thing, which I shouldn't complain about too much because that's why I made a decent amount of money for a short period of time anyway. And I wouldn't have had, any of that work without, the .com thing, but man. It's like it's brought all of the scammers and con men and everybody out of the woodwork. Well, there you go, Rob. That would be fantastic. Dude, I'll tell you one. When I was in junior high, so this would have been 77, 78, right? Well, on that note, I'll bring out the Fiberflex because that's when I acquired that thing. My math teacher was super interested and excited about computers, and so we had a teletype in the back corner of the room, and there was a few kind of games and cool puzzly type things that you could, use the teletype to kind of mess around with. Okay, but this was a teletype terminal. I don't know if you guys know what that is. It's a terminal, right? So you can type at it, right? But it was teletype. It had a roll of paper in it, right? Well, it had a paper underneath it, I guess, and it rolled through the thing, right? So it's not rolled on like a roll of toilet paper or something, but it's like it had paper and it went through a roller and it typed on it, right? There was no screen. You actually read the paper, right? You dig what I'm telling you, man. first computer I had as a kid, well, I didn't own it as a kid. We had it in the house. My dad let me screw around with it because, you know, he encouraged that kind of thing. Because and that's another thing. My math teacher got really excited because he found out my dad was a computer programmer, and had been since like he got that job. I guess after I was born, and we moved up here. I guess when I was 2. So you know, since '67 anyway, he's been a computer programmer. Anyway, our first computer was this Exidy Sorcerer, and it had 8K. That's how much memory it had. That's a K. You dig what I'm telling you? All right, here we go. How about some wheel spinning? But yeah, man, that old modem, you know, the boing boing, you know, those really strange noises, the computer telemetry stuff. You too, Jason. Hey. Wow. Well, I don't need $80,000. No, I don't. I never played any of the Game Boys or NES. I'm thinking I should get a just crappy pair of cheap trucks, or maybe just one truck, you know what I mean, and get some really cheap wheels with noisy bearings. That might make for more interesting noise, although I like, I know it's a quiet noise, but I like it. I think I just rubbed on the mic. All right, let's go over here this way. Let's turn around. See that? Or I guess it doesn't matter which side it's facing, does it? That's still spinning pretty good, isn't it? Oops, I keep rubbing on the thing. No, I don't know that I would consider myself an open source activist, but I'm an advocate for it. You know what I mean? I absolutely believe in open source and, you know, free stuff. I mean, I think people should get paid. You know what I mean? And if you know, but yeah, I do like the whole open source thing because that allows for and encourages collaboration. You know what I mean? So. And there's a lot of good, especially like, well, for example, it's, I don't know that there's any open source stuff, I mean, because I don't really pay attention because I don't use Microsoft anymore, that runs over there, really, you know what I mean? That would, but like, there's, this audio software I was using is called Ardor, and it's an open source thing. Well, sort of. If you want it, out of the box just working, you know, if you just want a functional executable, then they want you to donate money. But if you'll take the source folder or source files and compile it yourself, you can have it for free. I haven't looked at the license on it with any detail, but I imagine it probably functions a lot like the new, you know, the GNU, the new license, you know, and that, you know, any part that's open source or free, you have to allow people to use open source and free, but any modifications and add-ons you can sell, right? You know what I mean? That kind of thing. And I'm all about that, man. That's great. It allows for and encourages collaboration amongst humans. And that's how humans survive and proceed, you know, in the world in a meaningful way. I think we've lost our path. Ocarina of Time zone. Yeah, that's one thing that I dislike about Microsoft is their predatory stuff. Yeah, you know, I don't know if he still does, but for a time, my dad considered himself a white hat hacker. Yeah, you know, I think I like the things that function that are both open source and free. Although I don't mind, you know, paying, like I said, paying for things. Um, which reminds me, I'm going to have to go get Ardor again because I lost it too, right? You know what I mean? And I've only been tinkering with music because I just haven't had time to devote to it with all that, you know, the hassles that have been going on. But so I was just using Audacity because it's, you know, it's right on the, what is it that you call where you get all the software, the repository that Pop! OS uses. And so it's like a quick install and there you go. Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah. Yeah, I see what you mean, right. About the LibreSoft thing, right? I wasn't thinking like that, sorry. Yeah, I use OBS. I think OBS is amazing. I mean, I'm using it now for streaming, but I also use it for, you know, when I do the gameplay captures and all that kind of stuff. I use OBS a lot. Let's do some tapping on the fiberglass, shall we? Oops. Prop it up on my knee so it's easier for me to hold. Hey, Kate Manda. Didn't realize you were here. Well, oh, okay, yeah. Well, I'm glad you are here, and I'm glad you piped in. It's good to hear from you. And I appreciate the support. Yeah, isn't it the greatest thing, man? I mean, it just does a job, and it just does it really well. And it does way more than I know how to take advantage of, you know what I mean? I should probably spend some time trying to learn how to get better at it, but I just have so many things that I need to get better at organization. It's funny, when I had jobs, I was really good at being organized at work. But it's funny how I have a hard time organizing stuff when it's, you know, I'm the one in charge. Well, you know, I had been in charge at jobs too and done okay at that. I don't know what it is about. I don't know. I've got some kind of mental block about it, I suppose. Oops, there goes the fridge. I forgot to turn it down, but oh well. Thanks, Kate Manda, I will. Yeah, audience does have value, James. It's just that I have to concern myself with money given my, you know, situation. Huh. Well, I have have no experience streaming with Twitch, so I don't really know how that works, but hey Joanne, how's it going? Well, welcome. Yeah, well, you've got 41 minutes left. I mean, there's the timer up there. It tells you how much time is left. Oh, where'd the other clock go? That's weird. I just noticed it's not showing up. There's that one. Oh, how did it get up there? Weird. The break clock isn't showing up anymore, is it? That's very weird. I don't know what the hell happened to it. Oh, I must have clicked on something weird and I don't know, I'm not gonna worry about it now. But it's, you know, there's only about 2 minutes left before the next break, so. Yeah, I should go over there and see what it's like over at Twitch. Wow, that's crazy money. But those guys stream a lot though, don't they? I mean, they're like on there every day for hours kind of thing, aren't they? Can I do a meow? I mean, like a cat meow? I don't know, not really. I mean, there you go, meow. That's about as good as I do on that kind of thing. Yeah, it's a thing I need to look more into. Because, I mean, like I said, I started to look into it, and I signed up for a Twitch account. And then, like, yeah, I just sort of dropped the ball. So, oh, there we go. The break time is out. I'm going to take one last break, and then I will be back. I don't know what's wrong with this thing. All right, I'm going to turn this off, and I'm going to delete it. Sorry, I have to do this. It's annoying me. Yes, I want to remove clock. There we go. And I'm going to put it back now. And I want this here, and I want this one. No, it's still, what's going on here with this thing? Well, all right, I just have to let it go. It's too annoying, and I don't want to staring at this, and I spent my whole break staring at the screen trying to figure out what I was going to do. Anyways, there we go. Oh wow, I never clicked into the be right back thing, did I? Oh well. So you guys got to watch me stand there and rub my back. What comments did I miss? Yeah, that's the thing that got me interested, Joanne, into streaming both things, is because I have seen other content creators talk about that's an easy thing to do and is, kind of beneficial. Wow, that's a lot of money. Yeah, it seems awfully ambitious though, Ben. You know what I mean? I don't know. I mean, obviously I would love to, have tons of fans and to the place that, I financially didn't have to, worry about things. But I mean, I'm not interested in being a guy that's, rich or anything like that, really. I mean, a certain amount of money would be nice. I mean, I could help my dad out with stuff. We could do things around the house and that kind of thing that we can't afford to do now. But, I don't need fancy cars, and I don't need, I would spend most of my money on musical gear, probably. Just talking? Is that where they put ASMR? Yeah, I guess that's what it is, isn't it? Just talking. Okay, so now what am I going to do for, let's brush on the mics. How about that? I feel like I've been talking too fast and too loud tonight. I think I do that often. Try to slow down a little bit, especially now that we're getting down to about the last half hour. Yeah, money does bring problems, Ben, that's for sure. Yeah, well, that's why it's, I feel it's better to be, as far as exposure. I mean, if you maintain a modest existence, right? Stop spamming the chat. You're fine, Ben. Wow. Yeah, I suppose I should. I don't know. I will look more into it and see if I can get off my ass and make it work and try doing a simultaneous Twitch/YouTube stream and see how it goes. Yeah, see, there's something about that I kind of find appealing. Not that I really want to be a cult leader, but I wonder if I could pull it off in sort of a tongue-in-cheek performance art sort of manner. You know what I mean? Or I don't know, maybe I could construct one in all seriousness, That's an interesting idea. I don't know, maybe I should do that. We could buy a compound, right? I mean, how far do we want to go with this cult? Do we want to buy a compound and have people do subsistence farming and stuff like that? Yeah, see, that's the thing. If I had tons of money, I think I'd like to use it to do things. You know what I mean? I wouldn't buy mansions really. You know what I mean? Like one thing that I have had fantasies about, as far as if I had money, is I would go and form or find, one, if it already exists, a material science company to do research into like recycling various plastics and polymers and things, and to do things with them. You know what I mean? So we could actually make better use of our resources as opposed to polluting the planet and using stuff up in a reckless manner. And I wouldn't be looking for it to turn a profit. I would be looking for it to come up with answers. You know what I mean? So if I was like a uber rich guy, I think it would be fine. I would just break off money all the time to keep that going. Yeah, Billstown, right? Yeah, there you go. Colt on the beach, right? Maybe somewhere near Morro Bay or something. I only picked that because there's that power plant out in that bay, and I bet it probably keeps prices lower than, say, Santa Barbara. But although Santa Barbara's got that stuff out there too, doesn't it? Yikes! It's not as pleasant a view. I'd rather see windmills than those big oil rig things. Although I think the thing at Morro Bay is a power plant or something, isn't it? I can't remember. Yeah, that's not a bad idea, MSC. That's kind of what I had in mind. I mean, maybe not creating the other channel, but but maybe that's the thing. Yeah, there you go. See, all of that stuff is fantastic stuff, Ben. Yeah, you've mentioned that you were adopted from Russia before, Ben. Is that a common thing that children get adopted from Russia? Or was it just like a weird circumstance that's just the way that it ended up? I mean, if you don't mind my asking, I'm sorry, I don't mean to pry. Yeah, that's the idea, stranger danger. That's why it's called the evil timer, although I don't know if you can make it out in the... It looks like it's probably a little small to see. I need to figure out a better way of labeling that or something. I don't know. Yeah, I had to put in the timer on there because Ra was always trying to get me to go longer and longer and longer, and I had to put my foot down. I can only do 2 hours and 20 minutes. Mostly just because it seemed like a good time for me, as far as like giving you guys a decent amount of time, but also not overdoing it so that my back doesn't complain to me yesterday. Why would my back complain to me yesterday about what I'm doing tonight? Holy mackerel, I am clearly too tired. Hey, totally not... I'm not going to be able to say that name properly, but hey, how's it going? Is that totally not Miguel Turst? That's an interesting idea. Oh, totally not Miguel Trust. Okay. All right, man. I have thought about kind of along the lines of the cult thing, but not really. It's just the cult thing makes me think of it. I have thought about starting another channel that would be similar to, say, my W.C. Postman channel. Or maybe I would make it be more calm than that, so maybe ASMR-ish. But basically just trying to talk about some of those topics, but in a calm manner, but staying away from politics, but mostly talking about, well, the atheist anarchist advocating agape. Right? I don't know if any of you have seen any of those videos on that channel, but there's a couple that I'm pretty pleased with. But one of them is the survival strategy, and another one is, I don't remember what I called it, but it's basically I'm an alien that's here to collect breeding samples for a zoo. Yeah, right. I have to think about that. I just don't know if I have that. I don't know if I could pull that off. You know what I mean? I don't know if I'm a good enough actor. Yeah, animal crackers, right? Isn't that what they call them, animal crackers? No, animal crackers are the small ones that come in the box, huh? No, but I remember those cookies. I think Mother's makes them, or they make a version of them anyway. Yeah, man, as a kid, I loved those. They're just silly. I mean, they're just cookies with a bunch of frosting, right? Thanks, Kate Manda. I suppose I could. I don't know what that would do with YouTube, though. I'd have to look into it. Because, they're mine. You know what I mean? I own the copyright to them because they're my stuff. But the only reason that I kind of am like, about it is that, okay, so there was this guy whose name I can't think of right now. Oh, man, he was this Irish dude that lived up in British Columbia. But he's the guy that runs the what is it called? The unintentional ASMR. I mean, he did that one video it's my material, but he made a compilation of my material for his channel, and it got like tons of views. It had like 2 million views or something like that. So obviously, proof of concept is that my stuff can be successful. But he and I made a deal in that I would let him have some of my material to put on his channel, and he would help me try to figure out how to grow my channel. And we did work together for a little bit of time, and he kind of helped for a minute. Then we just sort of, it fell apart or whatever. I don't know. He just sort of fell off. I don't know. I didn't hear from him anymore, so whatever. But anyway, YouTube wouldn't let him monetize that stuff because it was my material. And so what I did is, because what he did is he took existing stuff and made a compilation. But then when that didn't work, what we did is I gave him material that I wouldn't put up on my channel. So like when I recorded gameplays, I just recorded 2, right? One that I put up on my channel and one that I gave to him that he could do whatever he wanted with. And that was the deal. We made the agreement. He would help me. We just traded work for work, right? He would help me, and I would help him, right? And so I gave him the material that I gave him, right? So he had, essentially, it's his, right? He can sell it, do whatever the hell he wants with it, right? And the only thing I said he couldn't do is he couldn't use my likeness for any other purpose. He could, use the video and whatever, right? But so he couldn't make it look like I was, endorsing something, that kind of crap. And it was fine. We had an agreement and everything was groovy. But YouTube wouldn't let him monetize it, even though it's like he has permission from the guy who made it. The copyright holder has given him, right? They go use with permission, and I've given him total permission. He could make money on it and the whole thing. Now I've lost touch with that guy. I don't know what happened to him. he sort of fell off the planet. I mean, as far as communicating with me. Oh, and the other thing is I don't know how to get a hold of him. We only communicated through Facebook. And I don't have Facebook anymore either. Because to get Facebook, I'd have to do two-factor authentication using my Bill MaxVoxPax email. Yeah. Reverend Jim, that was a great character. Yeah, that's an interesting idea. That guy was a great character, too. That was a fantastic character. And there's this one episode, right, where it turns out that he's actually some, like, rich guy's son or whatever, and he used to be like an Ivy League guy or something like that, and then he just decided to drop out and, go become a screwball. I don't know, in some ways I can identify with that guy. I feel like I should switch to another trigger. I just don't know what to switch to at the moment. I'm feeling uninspired. I'm going to do the chopstick in the jar for a little bit. How about that? Chopstick in the jar. I'm so frustrated. The third season of One Punch Man is out, but they're only doing it in subs, and it's hard for me to watch things with subtitles because my vision is so bad. It's hard for me to make them out on the screen if I'm sitting back at my recliner. So if I'm sitting up, in this stool, close by the computer, then because I watch everything on the computer, I don't even have a working TV anymore. But Right, yeah. MSC, yeah, I know what you mean. Oh, let me see. Ben said, could you do Mind Test Monday / Saturday Live while zonked? Yeah, I might do that. I don't know. I want to be careful about that, though, because there's this whole thing in YouTube's weird, community terms of service thing that apparently some people have been kicked off of YouTube because YouTube felt that the way that they were being stoned or whatever was glamorizing it, in such a way that was, I don't know, so I have to look into that. I suppose I could do it and then just you guys will just have to know it on the down low and I just won't make a big deal about it, you know what I mean? That's probably the solution to that. Yikes, sorry about that. I didn't mean to. But oh, I know. One of my nephews, Joanne, has a couple of the manga, and I have read them. I love that the pages, everything is backwards from what I'm used to. It's pretty funny. I remember when he first loaned it to me, it was hey, it tripped me out, but yeah, you're right. I think it is better. But I do enjoy the anime a lot, to be honest. It's one of my favorite animes. But in truth, I don't really watch that much anime, I guess. But I don't know. I think I have. Because sometimes I watch One Punch Man type stuff, and then one of my favorite anime is the Apothecary Diaries. I really love that one. It's fucking fantastic. I mean, I realize it's not action adventure or anything like that, but I like stuff like, I like One Piece, but I find that I fast forward through a bunch of it because sometimes it gets very soap opera like, where they spend so much time on scenes where it's like, you know, I mean, that kind of thing. It's just like, yikes, come on, get on with it. So yeah, okay. So what are my favorites? Wait, I missed comments. Right, that. Right, yeah. What are my favorite? Okay, so my favorite, well, like I said, One Punch Man, Apothecary Diaries. I really like that a lot. What are the ones that I would say? Because, you know, I don't know if I have favorites a lot of times. I've enjoyed some of them, but I have to think about it, see what comes to mind. Yeah, you know, it's not for everybody, I guess. It is kind of weirdly paced. I like the animation in it, though, too. The artwork, I think, is really good. Oh, that's one that I really, it was a movie, it's not a show. And it's, I can't think of the name of the studio, but one of my nieces is really, really into it. And it did a version of The Borrowers. And it was a movie, and we went and saw it in a theater. That was really good. Is that Ghibli? Is that one of those studios? Man, I can't remember. I'm not that into anime, you know what I mean? I'm very sort of casual, sort of. Okay, hang on. You know what? I have enjoyed. I got reincarnated as a slime. I've watched that with my nephew, and I really enjoy. I haven't watched the whole show, but yeah, I've enjoyed that. It's just so, I don't know. He's such a good guy, you know what I mean? He's just going around spreading good guy stuff, you know, as he goes through his challenges or whatever. But it's fantastic. Chicago Fire. I haven't seen that. No. I don't remember what the title of the movie was, Joanne. Yeah, sure, Ben. Do you want me to message you on Discord? Ah, I gotta be careful about that. Because I have to push a certain amount to get the sound to work, but it means I also risk sort of jamming up the jar and making weird noises that aren't very ASMR, but oh, I haven't seen the Chainsaw Man thing. I'll have to look into that one. Well, there's several. You could just email me. I think my email is available if you go to the about, or the, you know, when you're on my channel and there's that little tab that says more. I'm pretty sure I should just go look. Can you get my email that way? Well, here, I'll just tell you. It's billcposhman@gmail, like BILL. You know, I'll put it in the, I'll write it in the comments. You guys can just see it. Because I don't mind if people email me. It's not that big a deal. there, you can send an email to me there. Also, I think I'm called Bill with a Beard on Discord. Is that right, Ben? Because Ben and I have messaged each other on Discord a few times. So that's a way. I think it's Bill with a Beard. Or you could go to the Patreon, and you don't have to pay money. You can join for free, and then you could leave messages and comments there. There's not really much of anything that goes on there. It's fairly, low key. I don't know, maybe it'll grow and become more active as time goes on, but, yeah, you guys can reach me there. Yeah, I guess that's it, those are the best ways. And it depends on what kind of interaction you want to have too, right? I mean, do you just want to send me an email, or do you want to have like some kind of chat or something like that? Or, I can be open to such things. I'm not trying to be unavailable to people. Anyway, so let's start doing the winding down sort of thing, right? So we should slow down. So what am I going to do for that? Should I go back to, I'm going to tap on the beard brush, I think. Thanks, MSE. I'll look forward to getting it. Let's do some tapping on the back, shall we? A PGP public key for email? No, I don't think so. No, I don't have any videos or anything there. There's just like a, sort of like I guess it's a chat sort of thing. It's, where you can, there's like a conversation that happens. I mean, it's not terribly active, right? It's not. Maybe I should make more effort there, but. I don't know if I will ever make the Patreon anything different than a tip jar, to be honest. I mean, I don't know, I might. I mean, I don't like to ever put things in, a constrained manner that can't be flexible. That just seems silly in the way the world is, but. Drink of water, and I think what I will do is You know, I thought about, now that you bring that up, Joanne, there's a thing that I've considered. I think I may have mentioned it to you guys before. There's this book that I have, and, well, in all honesty, it's essentially pornography, but it's not, there's no pictures. But it's Victorian era pornography that was part of a weekly, I guess the closest thing you could compare it to is a zine, you know what I mean? And it was all these stories that were essentially, porn literature, I suppose. And anyway, it's amazingly ridiculous how over the top it is. I mean, it's all about like upper class, like the guy, the lord of the house, getting it on with his maids, and then also getting it on with, like, sometimes there's a lot of incest and stuff between brothers and sisters, and the whole thing, and fathers and daughters, and all kinds of stuff between maids, and it's just crazy. But and it's not. It's pretty crazy. So I thought about reading some of that and putting that on the Patreon thing. Making it so, like, because I don't want it available for where kids can get at it, kind of thing. I thought that might be a good place to stick it, but then I was thinking that just might be too much for people to tolerate. You know what I mean? So I don't know. That's why I haven't done it yet, just because. I mean, I find a lot of that stuff kind of amusing and interesting. I think it might have come up in my I have what was his name? Meese. He was the guy who was appointed by Reagan, Attorney General, and he did the Commission on Pornography. I think it was in '85 or something like that. Pretty sure it was under Reagan's term. Either Reagan or Bush Sr.'s term. And it's like this, it's about like that thick. I'll stop with the stinking zooming thing, man. Let me get it back here. What's going on here? Now come back. Go back to normal. Thank you. Yeah, but I might, I shouldn't think in terms that I would just restrict it to only weird, risque, pornographic ass things. But I just brought that up because that's an example of the kind of thing that I might think about putting over there. I might do, like, that might be a good place for me to stick the, when I read Goethe auf Deutsch. Stuff like that, like stuff that isn't, I don't know, like a little bit more niche, you know what I mean? That's the thing I might consider at the Patreon, is maybe having, like, once a month, an interaction with you guys, and we'll come up with a video that I will make just for Patreon, but I'll keep it so that anybody could watch it, even the free viewers, you know what I mean? Because, again, I don't want to put stuff behind a paywall, but maybe putting that over there might lure people over, and they might go, yeah, this guy is really good, it's worth $1 a month, you know what I mean? Yeah, I am, James. I mean, this is my social thing, man. I don't really hang out with people anymore. So you guys are not just my viewers or whatever, but you're, kind of like my group, my social group. Well, Ben, the stuff I'm talking about, it's artistic in a sense, just because it's humans doing creative stuff, right? But I don't think a lot of people would think of it as being terribly arty. But I find it very interesting, not just because it's, a weird, extreme example of some kind of weird porn. A lot of BDSM type things going on. the language they use and everything, bro, because it's Victorian, right? You know what I mean? So I'll give you guys a few extra minutes, but that'll be about it. You guys will have to contact my dad, right? Okay, Ben, we'll see you when you get back. Thanks, Joanne. I appreciate that. I mean, if you want to make suggestions of the kind of stuff you'd like to see there, I'd absolutely welcome it. I mean, I will never promise that I'll, do requests, but I'm open to hearing them, and if I like something that somebody suggested, I'll do it. Yeah, maybe I should do a little bit of lullaby tonight. Oh yeah, so the timer's down, so I might as well turn that off now. And let me make these just both invisible since they're not really doing anything anymore. And let me do this. And let me do this. Alright, so they're just like that. Okay, so now it's... Yeah, there we go. I think that's fine. We can... Hypnosis. Yeah, I've been thinking about trying to read up on how some of those scripts go, you know what I mean? So maybe actually make it be a useful hypnosis thing. Okay, Ben, I'll only be here for a couple more minutes. Oh, absolutely, stranger danger. That's the thing. I'm not looking to make anybody, be uncomfortable with, what kind of support they could offer. So, watching and liking and doing that absolutely helps. I mean, my fantasy is at some point to have enough people that, dig what I do. Like, say, for example, if I had 1 million fans, right? And if 10% of those 1 million people gave me $1 a year, that's $100,000. You see what I'm saying? That's kind of my fantasy, where I'd make the stuff, have a decent life, and it wouldn't be a burden on any individual to any high degree. You know what I mean? And clearly it doesn't have to be 100 grand. That's just a round number because it makes easy math. But okay, I'm going to do a little bit of the, excuse me, the lullaby humming of my half-assed attempt at doing Brahms' lullaby, and then we'll call it a night, okay? So let's do that. Do, 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 do. Hey Ben, you're here just for the end of it. I'm just closing up right now. So that'll be it for tonight, guys. I hope it was, not too horrible. I know it was at a bit of a rough start for, because of my mindset, but, I think we got to a better place, and, yeah, anyway, so I think that'll be it. I'll see you guys next weekend, I hope, and, of course, the day after tomorrow will be Mind Test Monday again, and I need to try to get myself out of this depression funk and, try to get back on the horse and making some videos, so we'll see how that goes next week, and so cross your fingers. And if anybody has any great ideas of, helping me with my horrible problem, that would be great too. So anyway, good night, everybody. Aloha, siblings.